This is the Nightwolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers More Than Meets the Eyes Autobot Gears, part of their Retro Card Bak assortment. Now, when I did the Bumblebee review for the Retro Cards, I did mention how weird it was to me that they had a ton of skids and only a handful of Bumblebees, and I wasn't sure if it was something to do with the case loadout or whatnot. And I made a comment about, I don't know why they would put extra gears in there because I can't see them selling out like they would Bumblebee. However, when I went to Walmart a week later, there was only one of Gears left on the shelf. So I went ahead and I picked them up. Interestingly enough, a week later when I went there was one on the shelf again. So I don't know if somebody there is storing a few in the back and then just putting one out at a time when they sell just to make them look like they're a little more wanted. But either way, I guess if that is what they're doing, that's, hey, if it works, right? That being said, I picked them up. I hadn't really intended to, but I did anyway because I actually have no idea where the previous version of Gears that they put out is actually at right now. Somewhere packed away in a box. But if we look at the back of the box, we have the old Transformers artwork from the first release toys. It's a world of constant change where things are not what they seem. It is the world of the Transformers, a world of heroic Autobots and evil Decepticons. They also give us a tech spec for Gears. Function, transport, reconnaissance. Nobody wins a war. Somebody loses. Gears is antisocial, a self-proclaimed misfit, finds fault in everything and everyone, acts this way to help cheer others up as they try to cheer him up. Hey, what is that, like 4-point font on there? And we do have that little logo that we saw recently on a couple other ones. The More Than Meets the Eyes authentic, which that could be easily replicated. So could technically the holographic ones too, but you know, whatever. Well, let's go ahead and open this sucker up. The old toy image. The story goes, as they did the first version of Gears for the Legacy line, they had the chest plate in the box somewhere else, specifically because of the number of figures where chest places were being stolen from the packages, which kind of an a-hole thing to do. But, you know, Hasbro could have solved that problem too by sticking a pin through it instead of making it removable. But we'll put the chest plate in place. And then, of course, we do have all the little detailing there underneath, which theoretically, I don't think we even see that in Transformation. Really, probably. I don't know. I think he may have opened up his chest plate before in the cartoon, and that's why they have that detail there. Well, so he comes with a gun. Looks like this is meant to peg into the side of him when he is not using it, or which would be vehicle mode. But we can fit it right there like that, so that's kind of nice and out of the way. Bro's got a huge backpack. Kibbles and bits and kibble. His head is on a ball joint, it looks like, where we can spin it all around. He can look up and down a bit, sideways. But, you know, he does have that wide head. I do like that they replicated the old toy top by putting the grill up there, too. That's pretty amusing. Because I believe in the original toy, especially if you look at the image here, I mean, this and this lined up because that was just a single piece. There's no, even though it looks like a cut there, there's no turn on there, you know, no spin. Although, looking at this, at least for the photos here, I don't know how well you can tell in the video, but he's a lot darker in the images. So I don't know if this color matches the original version of Gears or if the other one was darker and this one is lighter. Because I would think that they're going for more toy accuracy color-wise with the Retro Card Baks, but if that's the case, I don't remember what color. I don't think I have gears in my collection of old stuff. Okay, so we got the head done. Arm spins around and lifts up. There is a bicep cut. Actually, they did a pretty good job because I was thinking that even though that line was there, I thought that that wasn't actually a cut, to be honest. He has double jointed elbow, which is probably due to transformation. And his fist is spinnable. We have a spin at the waist. We do not have an ab crunch or anything. He can kick forward and he can kick back. Splitwise. He can kick sideways. And we get the splits again. His joints here are really stiff, so that's good. Not stiff enough to where I feel like they're going to break when I move them, but stiff enough that I don't think they're going to loosen. We do have a thigh cut. And we actually have a double jointed knee. Again, I think that's more for transformation than anything else. And that does actually kind of peg in there. So the secondary joint does kind of stay in place. We do have an ankle rocker and no spin. That's not really supposed to do anything, but, you know, it's there. So the big question is, can I transform him? Honestly, theoretically, he should be relatively easy to transform. Oh, I guess it does move for transformation. Big old hole between the legs there. It's too bad they didn't have something to fill that area in with. That just looks poorly designed right there. Actually, this back of the truck looks poorly designed too, in my opinion. The wheels are all on mushroom pegs, so they roll like garbage when pressure is applied to them. Well, I guess they kind of replicated the old toy. But it's not particularly the best translation that I've seen them do in the Transformers line. I think it looks kind of terrible in vehicle mode, to be perfectly honest with you. The side just, you know, because they got all these rounded parts for like the, you know, for the movement of the arms and stuff in robot mode, and they just don't translate well here, and because they don't meet up this area right, it just looks bad. Like they would have had to have replicated this curve on the back of here if they really wanted to try to make it look more streamlined or normal, or I don't know the right word right at the moment. I'll think of it probably after I'm done recording. The back of the trailer with the chest plate just looks awful. I don't know how they could have done that better, because it looked awful like that too. The fact that there's this big gap there looks terrible too. I don't know. Can we fit the gun in here somehow? Well, see. If they had designed that to work as gun storage, I could probably have forgiven them a bit for this. Well, I guess you can do it like that. Truthfully, that looks about 10% better than having the gun just on the top or the side. But still not great. Also, the wheels on the front don't really lock in place very well. And neither do the ones in the back. I guess if you want to give them a hover mode, I don't think that's a thing with this character. But, whoops. But you know what? It can be now. Let's take a quick look just to see if that is intentional or not. Nope, does not look like hover mode there was intentional, and also looks like that gun in the back is also unintentional. You can't see it right now, but I'm just kind of shrugging. Yeah. I suppose they would have done a better job of hiding the robot kibble if I turned to the head. It looks like I'd have to untransform him all the way in order to do that. So yeah, that would be our skids for the Retro Card Bak collection. Robot mode's fine. I just think that the truck mode leaves a lot to be desired. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments below. If you think that his vehicle mode is kind of hideous, please leave a like. And if you want to hear more of my nonsense reviews, please feel free to subscribe. There's the button down below. And of course, there's a little bit at the end of my videos that you can do it as well. Thank you for watching. Peace and love.